Clout-chasing VTuber crashes out over my wife, instantly finds out by rest says desu. Well, we'll jump in. We do jump in. Let's see. I know who this is about.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rip here.
Kaio, if you didn't know, Kaio is actually a little weirdo. And he loves being racist. Even to, he loves being racist to white people. So that's an interesting fact. That you didn't know. Not really in pain longer than stub on the leg. Probably. Probably. Well, let's just see.
So if I had a nickel for every time some weirdo VTuber attacked my wife and then got clowned on and then resorted to calling me an incel after they got embarrassed, I'd have a couple nickels.
Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happens that often. And it's also very interesting that there's a lot of people who there's a specific person, I won't name him, but you should look more into stuff before you make a tweet and say that she picks all the fights, because this time it wasn't even her fault. The dude just started crashing out in the comments as he loves to. It's just interesting.
And I'll have another one after what happened yesterday involving this VTuber named Kaio, who made a post trying to shame people for interacting with my wife. Now, before we get into everything for today, a little reminder that YouTube has been changing the way they count views. You can even watch a video in its full duration and not be counted as a view because you're not a engaged viewer, which means someone who liked...
Correction, before we continue, correction. Gothic Therapy, corrected their, statement. Basically, engaged is still after a certain threshold. So, yes, you can like, yes, you can sub, yes, you can share, dislike, whatever, right? But you can also still watch the video and be passive. It's just that now there's a threshold of how much you need to watch until it actually counts. Nobody knows what that threshold is. That's the problem we have right now. What do you feel about the anxiety song? I don't even know that one. I don't think so. Like, I heard that there's a song about that, but I've never heard it.
Subscribed or commented, so doing those things helps your view count. I know it's a very weird system, but I appreciate people who do that, and whenever I mention this, people respond really well to it and helps out the video, so just keep that in mind. So this guy right here, Kaio, decides to make a very snarky call-out post of my wife. So in case you guys don't know, this is my wife. Darling Straw, we made a couple of videos like this.
Yeah, Strop is nice. She's a cutie. She's nice. I like her. She's fun too. I love seeing her tweets here and there. I usually can't watch her streams, but usually I can't watch most people's streams because they're not in my time zone. So like, or they don't stream during the day for me. So like it'll be like the night. So usually I miss people's streams that I would like to love to watch. But yeah.
This where people have tried to go after her or after us, and eventually they find out. Now, of course, what does my wife do that is so controversial that it's raising these call-out posts from people like Kaio? Well, let me give her some examples of her posts from the past 24 hours. Here's her promoting a stream where she read the Bible to her viewers. Later on, she posted a photo.
Yeah, Strop became Christian. And she actually, like, she even, like, nuked her channel. She, like, took down a lot of videos and stuff that weren't aligning any longer with her and stuff. Yeah, she's been doing some things. It's really interesting.
Of the spaghetti dinner she made for us, and you know what? This one is controversial. Yes, she puts ranch on her spaghetti. Okay, I know.
Ugh. Ranch? I do cheese. Cheese works, but ranch? Oh, hell nah, cancel. Immediately.
No, be patient. She has a flaw, okay? If there's gonna be one flaw my wife has, this is it, okay? And wouldn't that be a good thing if that was the worst thing to deal with here? But anyways, what happened was it involved Grok, okay? If you don't know what Grok is the AI system for Twitter.
To summarize what they did, which is crazy to me, right? They shamed people for using Grok. You will not believe they shamed people for using Grok. They shape people for using an AI because it harms the environment. I find that very interesting. You use Google. Google uses AI when you Google something. You don't have a crash out there. Most browsers nowadays use AI. Technically, YouTube, when you have a thumbnail, it has an AI generation. Well, we'll find the best spot that it deems useful as an AI of a video and uses that as a thumbnail. That's very interesting. So you use that. Fun fact, the people complaining have a blue check mark. To have a blue check mark, you have to pay on Twitter. So the people complaining that other people are using AI, give Twitter money and support their AI. You know how retarded that sounds? Because it is.
Basically, you can ask it questions, you can make memes, you can do whatever, right? Typical AI system, right?
I did this too, and the person that the biggest account that ever like visited my account was D3, which is a gacha Dragon Ball creator with like 300k subs and stuff. Really cool, really cool. Didn't know that.
And there was a trend going on Twitter where people were asking Grok who was the most famous person to visit their profile. So she basically followed the trend here, saying, hey, at Grok, who was the most famous person to visit my profile? It doesn't need to be a mutual, don't tag them, just say who it was, please. And in her case, it was Chibidoki, which is very nice because she's always been nice to my wife, so that's cool. But yeah, a lot of other people were asking, and the accuracy of this is questionable. We don't really know. Sometimes it seems way off, sometimes it seems accurate, who knows, but a lot of people were in the replies trying to also get an answer.
Ooh, Kason was interacting with the Pip. Interesting. Yes, Pippa.
You see people like Pippa, see myself, Endymion, Legal
Mindset, Parrot, Cha-Cha.
Parrot, Cha, Azahara, all these people. I mean, this is like a murderous row.
Celeste! We got it out here! Cool! I definitely recommend checking out her channel. She's really cool. Though she does lean heavily on the Christian stuff, but in general, her streams are really cool. And yeah, she's just cool. Also, I got my second, I think my third cancellation when I defended her. W.
Of cool people in the replies here. But anyways, I would ask myself, and I would get an answer. I would get it in the form of Tectone.
Tectone. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Which, you know what, I don't think it really understood the question too well, but you know what, I'm not going to complain about the result because we like Tectone on this channel. But something happened, right? People started getting canceled for participating in this trend. Yes, people were so upset about people using an AI system that they were shaming VTubers for engaging in the trend, including people like this.
Which is like crazy, right? By the way, Misa, I see her occasionally on my Twitter page. She's incredibly fucking retarded. Like, one point she like says that she's open to everyone sexually, right? But then she says like she's loyal and shit, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck do you mean? Are you retarded? Crazy.
Who are quite literally guilt-tripped into making a public apology. You see this person saying, I shouldn't have done the Grok thing. It was dumb, and my curiosity got the better of me. I have never wanted to use that feature on this site before, but my need to be nosy won out. I am a human, and I make mistakes. You know, I'm not even really trying to clown on people like this. I really am more just like, I feel a little sorry for them that they have to grovel at the feet of their peers because they asked Grok a silly question.
And people were like, oh, this destroys the environment. This is damaging to the environment. Well, oh, you better not eat a cheeseburger or a hamburger because a single patty takes more water than dozens of AI-generated responses and dozens of AI-generated pictures. You are a retard if you genuinely believe that you save the environment by not using AI, which you do anyways.
Like, is this really worth any response whatsoever? Don't let people push you around like this. It's kind of sad, honestly. Like, I'm glad I'm not the kind of person who has to subject myself to these sorts of public floggings because I do something as innocuous as asking Grok who's the most famous person to look at my profile. Very weird stuff, but of course, this is where we get Kaio. We have this energy going around where this fun trend is now turned into a witch hunt, where people are going after anyone who's engaging with Grok in any sort of a way. So here's the post in question. Kaio begins by saying, "It's high-key weird seeing some of you be against AI arts, but then turn around and use Grok for some memes thinking it's funny." So this is your casual virtue signaling slop.
Which is so dumb. You are a retard because you have the blue. I don't get how these people are not seeing the retardation, the hypocrisy. You have the blue checkmark. You paid money to Twitter. You are funding AI. You are funding Grok. And you know why they don't point that out? Because if they don't do that, it would diminish their reach. That's why they don't point that out. It is so funny.
Post that you see on this side of Twitter where he's virtue signaling about Grok for likes and attention. But then it gets weird because he adds this reply saying, "It's also disappointing seeing friends interact with that Straub person." That seems a bit odd, right? You're thinking of my wife.
It's also that when I look at this, it's like, I'm gonna say this, follow policing is gay. Follow policing is gay. Interaction policing, whatever you want to call it, is gay as fuck. Just because you interact with somebody does not mean you endorse everything they do. Same with follow, same with anything else. Bro. I can't with these people.
When you're talking about Grok, what does this do? Number one, it doesn't say any reason as to why people shouldn't interact with her. It's just vague and petty for no reason whatsoever. Comes completely out of left field. But also, he's saying it's disappointing to see friends interact with her. How terminally online are you that you're getting disappointed seeing your friends interact with someone you don't like? It's very strange, very mind-broken behavior here. But of course, people would start pointing out the hypocrisy, especially of the second part, but also the first part as well. So he's complaining about Grok, right? Meanwhile, the next stream he does, as pointed out here...
Hey, complaints about Grok! Uses game that uses AI-generated content. Oh yeah, boy. We got you now. We got you now.
Is a game, he's streaming a game that uses generative AI. It's right here. Right in the Steam description of this game. So this guy is virtue signaling about Grok and AI being so evil, and then immediately turns around and streams a game that uses generative AI. Are you kidding? And then I poke around in this guy's alt account on Twitter. Now we're on the friend policing part, right? So he said this, I just typed in friend.
You just blindly hate a person just because your friend has a problem with them. You are emotionally immature as fuck. If your friend group thrives off of talking shit about other people, especially unprovoked, you're weird, please grow up. Wait, so on his main account, he does what he says sucks on his side account. Huh, interesting. I think Misa is called Annie. I mean, yeah. I do believe that AI was what's the word? Inspired by Misa.
On his account, he said this: if you just blindly hate a person just because your friend has a problem with them, you are emotionally immature. And another one saying, if
like he does that right now. You hate a person. You hate a person, right? That your friends interact with. You are the friend that has a problem with Straub. You are that friend.
If your friend group thrives off of talking bad about other people, especially unprovoked, you are weird. Please grow up. The calls coming from inside the house, dude, that is literally you. Your friend policing people and attacking others you don't know for attention. It's so embarrassing how hypocritical this guy is. He's literally describing his own post on his alt account. No self-awareness.
No, none at all.
Whatsoever. Now, of course, the replies to this tweet were almost exclusively negative towards him. You can see people saying, Straub is the sweetest VTuber in the space. She's a sweetheart. You're a bitter political freak. Good job attacking a woman is a path that'll likely backfire. Just stop harassing women. Why? She's the most polite, neutral people I've ever seen. And yada, yada, yada.
Yes, Comrade Dell! I know this man. I know the Russian man. Son Piker, there's some YouTubers who poison the mind of everyone spreading their political garbage. He said something like that. I swear people don't even know when they complain while being in the center of their issues. People complain when they are the problem.
Got it right. But we get to the response from my wife. She would quote him and ratio him into the shadow realm, saying, why is it disappointing someone would interact with me? What have I done that is so evil? People shouldn't speak to me. This is so mean and I don't even get it. I don't even know you. We've never interacted, yet you post this for your huge audience to see. I just don't get it. And then she adds, and I don't want anyone to be mean to him or anything. Please don't. That's the last thing I want. I'm just sad, honestly. I just want to understand why someone would say something like this as a big creator with influence. I just don't feel like I deserve this. I don't know. You know, the thing is, like, if this guy wanted to say something about me, like, if there was...
Yeah, that's because you are associated with Ref. Look at this. Let's summarize this. You are married to Ref. You're a Christian, and you're white. You have, like, the infinity stones of why people hate you. Not saying that you deserve it. You don't deserve it at all, but that's probably the reason why. That's probably the reason why. Number one reason, you're married to Ref. Number two, you're Christian. And number three, you're white.
A version of this with that Rev person, maybe I would have understood it a little more because I've criticized this guy for his tweets in the past, and we're going to see one of those examples in just a second. But going after Straub with no reason attached, and he'll never give a reason, by the way, weird. Just a very weird thing to do, besides just being completely out of left field. But I asked in the replies to Straub's tweet saying, hey, at Grok, is it racist to describe...
adding insult to injury, that's good. Adding Grok. Yes, you can be racist to white people. You can be racist to everyone. Doesn't matter where they're from. Doesn't matter how they look like. You can be racist to everyone.
Discriminate against people based on the color of their skin, because Kaio has a very documented history of hating white people, saying can't be racist towards white people, but of course someone like you wouldn't know that. Look at this diet Uki Violetta, this dollar store Uki Violetta. He wishes he could be Uki Violetta. Imagine how pathetic that is. But yeah, what am I going to do in this situation if you're going to be crying and pissing your pants over Grok being used? I asked Grok, is this racism? Yes, it is, according to Grok. Discriminating against people based on the color of their skin is racism. And you know what their source for this was? The dictionary. Because, yeah, duh, there's no exception for white people. It doesn't say racism is discrimination based on skin color.
Except white people. What was the saying from that one movie where, like, one was like playing Kim Jong-un and the other one was like a TV show moderator? They hate us because they ain't us. That kind of thing. Sorry, that just fit there.
Except for white people when they're the target. I mean, anyone with common sense knows this, and it's amazing how the VTubing scene, the certain portion of the VTubing scene, is more angry about people using Grok than people being openly racist like this. Isn't that crazy? How the value...
Because they're racist to the right group. That's pretty much it. They're racist to the right group.
values are so upside down. But anyways, keep in mind, this is the same guy who only a few months ago was virtue signaling about...
Oh no, I completely forgot that he did this. Yeah, he ended his partnership with Gamer Subs because they're affiliated with Kirche. And Gamer Subs has still not dropped Kirche. Based Gamer Subs.
Gamer Subs and Kirche. Remember the situation with Kirche? People engaged in a life ruination campaign against her for being a quote-unquote problematic VTuber, for having views they don't like, basically. And they're trying to go after her sponsors, and people were virtue signaling about Gamer Subs, which is one of her sponsors. And he decided to end his partnership with Gamer Subs and stand in unity against these bigoted views. And he says, I believe in fostering an inclusive community. Inclusive. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I don't aim for, thankfully I don't aim for inclusiveness. I don't want to be inclusive. People that like me will stay, and people that don't like me will leave. It is incredibly simple. Unless you're white, of course. But anyways, after this whole kerfluffle and people were making fun of him for his very bizarre attack on my wife, he would then lash out with this response, saying, I might be the rage-baiting king. You know, his handle is Ohio Kaio. I think it's...
Look how retarded I am. Look, guys. Oh no, I was just retard. I just was a retard on purpose. I didn't mean it. I didn't actually mean it. No, you are a retard. And it wasn't on purpose. You were not just acting like a retard. You are.
Copium Kaio at this point. Yeah, he's just pretending to be stupid, ladies and gentlemen. He just had a bunch of people make fun of him, and that was a part of his plan, his amazing plan to, I don't know, what's the plan? I guess attention? Well, attention he has received. Here's the replies. You can see Rosie Bell saying, you are. It's impressive how dumb your takes are consistently. And then this picture just sums up everything.
Good meme, good meme. I need to go into that post to grab that real quick.
Okay, this is literally the situation in a nutshell right here. But you keep going. People say, more like just one of the kings of cope. You guys just don't get it. I'm rage baiting, you losers. I'm doing it on purpose. I'm actually super duper smart. Dude thinks he's him. With a picture of Andrew Tate's.
What color is your Bugatti?
Where's your crown, King Nothing? This one. Idiotic statement. Oh, wow, so many people are triggered. And just keep going on. And then people saying you're like a terrible person. And, you know, you're racist, rage baiting, Schrodinger's douchebag. All this stuff. But, yeah. Here's the ultimate cope. This was, I guess, towards the end of the freak out.
The word gets misused again. A married man can't be an incel. He can't be. Those exclude each other. You cannot be involuntarily celibate and have a wife that doesn't work. Those exclude each other. They do. Not only that, but Ref isn't a far right. Isn't far right. That is not even close. He is not far right. Right, yes, but not far right. Far right would be where I can't say the stuff, but you know the stuff. Far right would be 1933. Far right would be Mussolini, Italia, probably. That is not far right. Making videos on the internet is not far right.
Where my wife responded saying, so you're just being mean for no reason. I hope you find what you're looking for, I guess. And he says, you married a far-right incel, and you're worried about me being mean. Again, if I had a nickel every time some wackadoo VTuber who's lashing out at me or my wife calls me an incel to my wife, I'd have a lot. Okay, I'd have a lot of nickels at this point because it happens almost every single time. These people go after, unprovoked, my wife or myself or a marriage or whatever, and then when they get clowned on by everyone, they resort to calling me an incel. Make it make sense. Now, if you're not familiar, because the internet has watered this term down to the point where it means nothing, incel means involuntary celibate, meaning it's someone who's a virgin who wants to lose their virginity but can't because they're so socially inept. So in this sentence, he calls me a married incel. Make it make sense.
A married virgin. Though it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a virgin. It just means you can't get bitches eventually. That's really what it means. Eventually, that's what it means. Like, you can become an incel even after you losing your virginity, if I understood it correctly. I'm not too deep into that terminology and lore.
This is the most embarrassing cope I've ever seen in my life. And I also find it very odd that people like this have such a hyper fixation on my marriage in a negative way. It's weird. Why does it bother you so much? Why do we bother you so much? You know, you would get no negative attention from people.
Isn't maybe jealousy? I don't know. I don't know. Could be. I don't know. I don't know why they do this. I don't know. But that's just a general thing I've noticed. If other people attack a married couple, they usually, when they know somebody's married, they love to go after somebody's marriage or somebody's partner, even if that person is not involved. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Regardless, people just love going after people's relationships. Friends, partners, whatever it is. Twitter. What else am I gonna say here?
People like me, if you, number one, stop talking about me and my wife, and number two, stop being racist. It's that simple. No one would care anymore. You can go do your e-boy theme streams, whatever you want. No one would care. And this whole situation is really just, it should be a bit of an eye-opener for someone like this. You know, talking about, you know, how he's going to police his friends. Dude, where are they? None of them showed up. You just got clowned on by everyone. There's like one somewhat not negative comment for every 100 negative ones. Like, where are these friends that you're trying to police? Because, brother, they didn't show up. Like, where are they? They're not coming to your defense. And I saw plenty of people from your own community being like, dude, this is embarrassing. Like, what are you doing? And I left one more reply basically making fun of the fact that he's trying to act like this is all just rage.
Interesting, though, that he hasn't blocked him yet. Interesting, though.
Bait and not cope, sharing all the things that we already talked about. And then he responds saying, womp womp. What do you mean womp womp, dude? Like, as I pointed out here, you picked a fight with my wife, and then you got clowned on, and then you started coping, and then you tell me womp womp when you're getting dunked on? What are you talking about, dude? This is like unlimited cope. Copium Kyo. I think it's a good name, actually. It has a good ring to it, but this whole situation is just so stupid, man. Like, really? This all started with people asking silly questions to Grok and ends up in this complete meltdown.
Because these people are mentally ill. They think they're doing something good. They think they're saving the planet. Yet they have the blue check mark. They Google stuff. They use YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. All of those use AI. Twitch has used AI to generate their category pictures. You are a dumbass. And you know what? This behavior... I always come back to this argument when AI is the topic. You come back to this. You just do. Every time you behave this way, somebody would rather use AI than get art from you, than get art from people, from actual people. Again, the retards are actually pushing AI more with this. Because now, I can guarantee you, the amount of people that have used Grok now on purpose has probably increased, so you likely made it worse.
Embarrassing stuff, man, but anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section now.
My view is very simple. This guy's retarded. I don't get how he has that high of a following. I don't get how he has 100K. I don't know how he does it. Probably some just as delusional people. It's just odd that happens. That people are trying to police now that they're using Grok. Like, wow. I hope you don't use anything. You don't eat anything that needs liters upon liters of water, since you want to act like you're saving the planet for it, or you're protecting your artists. Good luck with that. I hope you get fucked. Not gonna lie. That's all I'm gonna say.